Hey, good morning fam. It's your boy Josh. Last night was a great bounce back spot for us. Our process came through because all the games stayed close and we avoided those dreadful blowouts. So it was just a fun day of playoff basketball. The Celtics and Nets battled it out again with hard fouls. They were even setting hard screens trying to take each other out. As a result, KD crushed his free throw prop, which is my favorite prop of his. I knew he would be aggressive and attack the paint all game long. And we predicted that the secondary guys would pick up the scoring, including the Dragon, Bruce Brown, and Seth Curry. They were all core plays for us. But the Celtics dominated the fourth quarter to pull off the win. I expect the Nets to come out strong for Game 3 in Brooklyn though. I can't wait for it. While the Sixers and Raptors game was sluggish at times, it was still a great game with back and forth punches, and Jurassic Park was rocking with Drake hyping up players during timeouts as usual. But Embiid made ridiculous shots at the end, especially that game-winning last-second three-point shot. It's just crazy to see a big man like him make a shot like that. Embiid is a one-of-a-kind baller. And Harden continues to dominate in the first half and then just completely disappear in the second half. But he did clear his assist prop, and he also fouled out. But his second half performances are concerning going forward. Playoff Harden is always risky to target. And mad respect to the Bulls. They went all in and took down the Bucks, even with Giannis going full Armor Titan mode. DeRozan had a huge game like we predicted. He was a top target of ours. That game-sealing dunk on Giannis at the end was crazy. And prop enemy number 1, Caruso, had a great game too. He commanded the floor and played great defense. We have another 3-game slate today with our favorite track meet. So, let's get hunting. The Grizzlies at T-Wolves has a 2-point spread and a 237 implied total. This is the game. Get your running shoes on because this will be another track meet. However, I really hope the refs hold back on the whistles today because they called a record amount of fouls in the first quarter last game. It was the most in a quarter in over 25 years. But it makes sense because we have two of the most foul-happy teams going at it. The fouls are definitely affecting the flow and pace. This game holds so much prop goodness if it can just flow freely without the fouls. Morant is always live for his fantasy points. Hopefully they don't juice it too much though, but I will still consider it if it's less than 50. And his free throws are in play again for all the reasons I just mentioned. Tyus Jones has been very effective off the bench, and Jenkins is actually running him alongside Morant with a 2-point guard set. As a result, he's actually earning more minutes over Melton, and he's filling the stat line and scoring at a high clip when he's on the court. So I will target his fantasy points in PRA. I think he will continue to get revenge against his former squad, and it's a homecoming game for him too in the playoffs. Jaren Jackson's fantasy points will be in play if he gets more run at the 5 again. I also like Brandon Clark again, as I expect Adams will continue to lose out on minutes. Also, look out for Tillman props before lock. They could drop. He was a problem for Cat, so I think he's carved out a role in this series. The T-Wolves are returning back home where they definitely feed off the energy in the target center, especially Pat Bev. So I do like his fantasy points or 4.5 assists. He will be amped today. Maybe Cat has a bounce back game, but this new adjustment made by Memphis could continue to give him problems, so I am lukewarm on his props at the moment. Anthony Edwards' 23.5 point prop will be a key target because I think he will be more aggressive at home and attack the paint. He was very passive in game 2, and he will chuck it from 3 as usual. D'Lo's point prop is the lowest I've seen it at 16.5 points. He is shooting really bad in this series so far, but he could catch fire and bounce back, so we might consider it. The Mavs at Jazz has a 7-point spread and a 211 implied total. This is not the game. Luka will be a game time decision, so it's really hard to break down this matchup at the moment. We will have to wait on this one. But for the Jazz, we could go back to Bojan's points since he will continue to dominate shot volume along with Mitchell. And Gobert's rebounds is always live if he gets his usual run, but it is juiced at 15.5. Crazy. The Warriors at Nuggets has a 2-point spread with a 224 implied total. The Nuggets will be in desperation mode and will be back at home in the altitude, so I do expect a bounce back spot for them. Jokic will be a primary target for his 59 fantasy points and 29.5 points. He has missed out on key minutes at the end of each game due to blowouts and ejections. This game should stay much closer, so he should close out the fourth this time. He will do whatever it takes to carry his team today, so I will lock and load. For the secondary pieces, we could consider Barton and Morris's fantasy points, as well as their assists. They will be needed today for their scoring and playmaking. The Warriors' new death lineup is scary and stacked with prolific shooters and great defenders in Dre and Wiggins. Poole is dominating the Nuggets, which is not surprising because the Nuggets have been smoked by point guards all season long, so I think he will continue this trend today. I do like his assist prop, especially with the death lineup, because he will have Clay and Steph to make buckets for him. Steph is not fully conditioned yet, and he has to deal with the altitude, so I think Poole and Clay will have to carry the load for scoring. Wiggins is crashing the glass and racking up rebounds, so he could go to his 5 rebounds, and his 1.5 assist prop is very low. He will have shooters all around him. Playoff Dre's fantasy points is always live, and he will look to set up the offense as usual with his pick and roll action and passing. So let's recap our favorite targets. First, Jokic 59 fantasy points or 29.5 points. Second, Anthony Edwards 23.5 points. Third, Jordan Poole's assists or fantasy points. Fourth, Patrick Beverley's fantasy points or 4.5 assists. And fifth, Tyus Jones fantasy points or PRA. And lastly, I had to include Gun's boy Aaron Gordon. His fantasy point prop is very low at 24. Let's see if we can convince Gun on this one later today on the live stream. Gun special. I can't wait to watch our favorite track meet tonight. What do you guys think? Does Cat show up today? Or does he just disappear and go passive mode? And as a result, does Memphis just steamroll them again? I'm going to break down more game film and we'll provide detailed game theory and analysis later today in our live stream at 4 p.m. Eastern. So join me and Gun. We will mine these props and find the gems with you guys. And have some good laughs along the way too. So, as always, best of luck everyone. I hope you crush it. And take care.